Praise the Lord. My name is Esther Wambi. I love Christ. I love talking about marriage because I'm a product of it, and I am continually working on my marriage every single day, because marriage is an everyday work to do. So, and one thing I've learned that marriage is a responsibility of any married person. Every person married is any person who is married has a responsibility to their spouse, and that is the number one responsibility. So you have a full-time job as a married person. So the primary obligation of a married person is to their spouses or to the institution of marriage. So there is no time to just relax. All the time we are full-time workers in our marriages. And today I want us to look at how to manage your family. Managing your family. And who is this that is supposed to manage a family? When we look at it, when we define marriage, we look at it in terms of an institution. And because marriage is an institution, it needs management. Somebody has to manage that institution. And so the primary core of the spouses is to manage that institution. And basically the man is the one who is the first manager of the institution, because that is a role that was given directly to him by God, and we cannot take it away, or it cannot be taken away, and there is nobody who can succeed in taking it away. And any time an attempt of taking that responsibility away from the spouse or from the man is attempted to be done, that is when there is a lot of problems, and the family finally breaks away. And so there's a lot of work to be learned in marriages. There's a lot of work to be done, and all of this we cannot do them until we are ready to learn to do them. There is a lot of work to learn, and in every spouse and in every marriage and in every institution there is a lot of learning to do. And that is why even in the secular or even in any other management roles in any other institution, we have to go to school and learn to be good managers, and learn to do things right, and learn the kind of institution, or rather the kind of management styles we are supposed to apply. And that's the reason why there are so many management styles. And these management styles are normally given to the learners, and the learners choose which management styles to be used, basing their management on the kind of a family that they have. But when we look at this very family where God has given us the responsibility as men to manage, God has given us the primary rule upon which to follow. And what I want us to look at is how do we manage? The same way we have functions of management in any other secular institution is the same way we have that management functions in the very, very family, because this one is basically a very the first institution that was created on earth, and this is because a family is a God's idea. God is the one who started the family, and it's a God's idea. He is the one who gave the primary function of managing this family. And that is the reason why we look at it in terms of the man has been given the primary role. Actually, the first manager of the family is the man. Sometimes we blame women when the families are not working. We blame children. We blame so many other people. But the primary role of a manager is the man. The man is the one who is supposed to know which way, which direction, where, which place, what is it that's supposed to be done. Actually, when the marriage fails, the blame will always go to man. Why? Because he's the one who was given the role. When we look back, we can say that the woman was the one who brought sin by the fact that she should spend so much time with somebody else other than the man or other than the spouse. And the other time I was teaching about we should spend so much time with each other. That is when we avoid, or rather that's when we avoid the enemy coming through, because when we spend time with each other, the enemy cannot find a loophole upon which he can penetrate our marriages. But today I want us to look at the reason what we should be able to do, or what the manager of the family should be able to do, so that he can be able to manage the institution well, or rather the institution can be able to attain its purpose and be able to get to what it is that it's supposed to do. And one of the things that I want us to look at is that the management style, or rather whatever is the person, the manager is doing, must apply SMART objectives. Must apply that SMART objectives, and that whoever defined that SMART said that it has to be specific, it has to be measurable, and also it has to be attainable and realistic and time-bound. Meaning that whatever you are doing as a manager, you must put yourself within a certain, a certain limit, you must be able to know that you are able to achieve whatever it is that you want. And one of the things that the manager must do in this thing to be able to attain that management, to be able to attain the management way of doing it and do it right. One of the things that this manager must do, he must be a good planner, must be somebody who is planning the family. You must be able to understand that you are planning your family. Your family does not just come into being. You must be the one who is from the beginning to the very end of the planning of that family. You don't just wake up one morning and you just get married, or rather start getting children. You don't know where you are going. You don't know what they will eat. You don't know what it is that the children, you must be a good planner. You must plan your family. You must know what exactly you are doing. And before, we go too far, we must understand that it is the man who starts a family. And by the way, the man is actually the core mover of this institution. And that is the reason why women hardly will ask for marriage from anyone. But it is the man who moves the whole thing. It's the man who will go and tell a lady, I love you and I would want you to come into my life. I would want to marry you. Meaning that the man is the one who is the core, or rather the person who begins the whole process. And so by the time you are starting this process, you should be a planner. You should know what kind of a family you want to start. You should know where this family is supposed to go. You should be aware that this family depends totally on what you have. Depends totally on where you are taking them. I remember personally when I was getting married, sometimes, you really have the kind of an ideal family that you really want as a woman. But many times you find that where this man will take you is where you are going. And so sometimes you look at the whole thing and you wonder, will this man take me where I'm supposed to go? But what I'm saying is that whatever questions you have should be answered by this man. So the man is the core mover of this marriage, is the first person, is the line of defense. So anything that does not work in this marriage, actually the ultimate person to be blamed should be the man. Because when you start this marriage, you must know what the family is coming to eat. You must know where you're going to settle with this woman. You must know what it is that you want to do for this woman and for the marriage to start in a right note and also to continue. The reason why many marriages start and they hardly continue is because they have a very poor planner. The man is a very poor planner of the marriage. And so you find that when this woman comes into this marriage and comes into this house, the man cannot provide food, the man cannot provide rent, the man cannot provide clothes for the children. He can hardly provide anything. So this family starts on a note of want. Yeah, there is nothing that this woman does not even. Actually, when you're proposing to this woman, it is you who had an idea where you're taking this woman. You cannot tell me that you're marrying me and then you start asking me where we are going. I do not know what you had in mind when you are coming to propose. So I am there to wait for you to tell me I'm taking you here. And that is why a man must be a very good planner. If you are not a good planner, chances that your marriage will have a problem. Because what happens is that woman really relinquishes everything and just falls into your hands. And when this woman falls into your hands, she's really waiting for you to switch buttons here and there so that you can be able to move. So you must be a very good planner, including planning your own children, And that is the reason why you find that some families, they get children and they are not, and you find some women getting children in old age because the man is insisting we must get a number of children, which this person never told you from the beginning. You find that you've gotten married to this man and this man tells you that I only want one child or I want 2 children. And then the woman, many times are the men who decide how many children are supposed to be given birth to, although they are not the ones who go to the labor ward. But they are the ones who insist that I want to get 2 children or I want to get 3 children. And because this woman is under an obligation to obey, you find that this woman, gets only 3 children. And then after staying for several years and these children have gone to school and they're big and all that, you start telling the woman, now I feel like I should get another child. And this woman has switched off and the age is also catching up. She's not as strong as she was when she was young. And you find that starts having, the marriage starts having issues. Why? Because you did not plan properly. You did not tell this woman where you want to go. And probably the woman even had sought your indulgence by asking, can we get 4 children? Can we get 5 children? And you insisted, if you get another child in this house, you'll have to move. Utatoka kwa hii nyumba. Why? Because the man is supposed to be the planner. And God has given this obligation to man. So I would urge men, and especially those ones who are not married, to sit down and with a pen and paper and write down what kind of a family they want and plan this family right from the word go, so that the foundations laid in the beginning are able to carry this family through. Sometimes the foundations laid in the beginning are the problem. So you find that somewhere along the way, the foundation is not able to carry this family through. The planning was not right. Everything done in the beginning was not right. And that's the reason why you find that uko mbele, you are not able to agree, because you said you want this number of children and the woman decided that is okay, and later on you start saying that you want many children because the children you thought you had and the responsibility you thought you had, God has blessed you along the way. Maybe you started the family when you did not have anything, and so you looked at those children as a responsibility or a liability, and somewhere along the way God has blessed you. Today you have money and God has given you wealth, and you start feeling that now that I have wealth, I need to add more children. And on the process, you find that the woman you married can no longer get children. And you end up getting married to another woman. Why? Because you did not plan your family well from the beginning. So what I'm saying is that it is very, very important to plan your family. Men, please kindly plan your family so that God cannot so that God can bless that family, or rather God can be exalted and worshipped in that family. Planning, very, very important. Another thing is that within the planning is that the family, it is very, very important for a man to know where the family is going to settle. What is it that you have in your mind? Where do you want your children to live? Where do you want to have a home? Where is it that you want to take your children, your family? In your institution, where do you want your institution to settle at the end of the day? Some people just get married and they actually don't have any plan. Hawana mpango yoyote. They are married to this woman, and you are married to this woman and you have gotten children, you are living in a rental house, and the woman feels the room you're staying is small and you are like, you need a bigger house. And you ask the man, what plan do you have for your family? And the man says, don't ask me, usiniulize maswali. You know, and the woman feels that the house we are living is so small for our children. And you know, don't forget, these children are also growing. And as they grow, it's good to have privacy. And especially as mother and father, as husband and wife, you know, it's good to have privacy. Both your children need privacy and you know, the couple needs privacy. Sometimes we don't give the privacy that our children need until we introduce the thought of sex to our children. As parents, you know, there are some parents who have introduced the thought of sex to their children because they do not have enough room to do whatever they want to do, because they have remained in that small house or in that small room, and the children are growing. Man, I'm telling you, God has given you such a big responsibility. It's very, very important for you to think, where do I want to settle my family? Where do I want to put my family? As my children grow, what plan do I have for this family? What plan do I have to take this family to a place where they can be comfortable? Where the institution of marriage can be honored? Where the institution of marriage can be respected? It is very, very important. Brethren, it's good to understand that this is a duty, this is a role, and this is a responsibility God has given us as a couple, and we must do it and do it right. And that's the reason why I said the role and the greatest responsibility that has been given to man, and nobody can take it away. So whenever your wife asks you, where do you want us to settle? Can we buy property? Can we do this? Can we do that? It is not because that this woman cannot get money to do it. It is because this woman just needs you to tell her what plan you have, so that whatever it is that she needs to, or she needs to assist, she can be able to go within your plan. So the man is the one who is supposed to have the plan from the beginning. And if the plan has to change, then that would mean that unless you have involved your spouse or you sit with your spouse and agree what exactly you want to do. So it's very, very important to uwe na mpango bwana. We mzee kuwa na mpango. Don't stay there being mpangoless. At you're just sitting there doing nothing about your family. You don't know where they're going to settle. You know, and people start getting old, your children go away, you are still living in a rental house, you don't know. You know, it is very, very important to plan. Be a good planner. Even the children of Israel, God planned for them because he was their father. And God equated the man to the position of God. You know, you're supposed to plan for your family the same way God planned for his people. And that is why when we look at the way God did it, He planned for the children of Israel by calling Abraham to leave his ancestral land. Just the same way there is living and cleaving in the family. God was demonstrating that if there is any plan that is to be effected, then living has to come. And because this woman has left, and you have also left, the issue is, then the plan has to be there. And that is the reason why he gave them hope. He promised them there is a land they are going to settle. You know, him together, Abraham together with his children and the future generations. So there has always to be hope. There has always to be plans. So the man has been given the role and the responsibility to give the hope to the family. You don't just sit there hopelessly. We are supposed to have hope as women and the children. And that is why that's the reason why the man dictates the direction the family is going. Much as the work done is done by the woman. The woman does a lot of, implementing the plans. Actually, the women are very good in implementing. The moment you tell the woman this is the direction we are going, you'll be surprised the way the woman will help you implement. They are very good at implementing. Just show them where you're going, and I can assure you, this woman will help you get there because God has given them a very, the strength to do it. And number two, the man must be in control. And the man must control the family. You must be in charge. You must take care of this family. You must know this family very well. The person must, hapana kupata tu mambo inafanyika kwako na ujui nini inaendelea. It's very, very important for the man to be at the center and at the, of everything that goes on in this family. And that is the reason why it's very important for you to control. Control does not mean dictating. Control means that you are in charge. You are somebody who can be able to say, yes, we agreed with my wife. We agreed with my children. This is where they are going. The school they are going to learn. Everything about your children. You should be able to be aware. Don't leave the woman to be doing everything. Ati sasa yeye ndio ameenda shule, ati sasa yeye ndio amelipa school fees, ati sasa yeye ndio anajua watoto wako wapi, ati sasa yeye ndio anajua watoto wanavaa nini. Yes, the woman can go to the shop to buy the clothes, but be involved, be in charge. Your hand, let your hand be there. Let the children know. Our father buys us clothes. There are some families where the father doesn't know. Since the child was born in the labor ward, the father has never known what this child has been wearing. Anaonanga tu watoto na manguo tu, hajui wanavaanga nini. Until the children they reach an age where they back off. They cannot ask anything from their father because their father is not, the fingerprints of the father are not seen anywhere. The father is not in charge. Whatever happens in that home, the father is not in charge. You should know that you're the one who has been given the responsibility to control that family, to know what it is that the family needs. And even if you don't have money, whatever is coming in that family, you're supposed to be in charge. You're supposed to discuss with your wife, and I can assure you, if you start that from the beginning, if you start discussing with your wife issues, if you start discussing with your spouse the issues that you want to be done in that family, I can assure you, whatever the woman will work for and whatever you will work for, you'll be able to put together to be able to achieve the objectives that you have as a family. The reason why many times the objectives are not achieved, it is because they are not even there. There are no objectives. There's some family who are just there dwelling, they dwell carelessly. The Bible is very clear that where there is no vision, the Bible says where there is no vision, people dwell carelessly. Rather, people perish. And the people perish. Why? Because they dwell carelessly. And there are some families where there is no vision, and the vision carrier is the man. There is no way the woman can be the vision carrier. And if you want to show me a family that has failed, it's the family where the woman is the vision carrier of that family. Many times when a woman is the vision carrier, there is a lot of problems in a family. Why? Because it was not designated to her. God designated this vision. To be visionary, to be carrier of the family, is the man's role to do it. So ni ya muhimu sana, is very important. My brother, my sister, is very important for you to know that the man is the one who is supposed to control the family. Control, I've said, is not dictating. Control means that you are in charge. You are somebody who knows your family very well. That even if you are to go outside there and you are asked anything about your child, do you know, it's very funny and it's very interesting to find that sometimes you can ask a man about the daughter or the son, you know, what level of education does your daughter have? And you find a man saying, let me ask my wife. Why are you asking your wife? You mean these children went to school in your absence? Why are you not in that home? Why are you not participating in their learning? Did you not even pay school fees? What them? Now, have you know, now that you are done with this degree, now that you have finished, now that you have completed, what is it that you want us to do? And the child would explain, now I want to go for masters, now I want to go for PhD, now I want to look for a job. And so a good father will help look for this job. Even if you don't get the job, you will at least put your effort in doing it. Even if whoever gets the job is not the issue. The issue is the father is concerned that the child is jobless and is involved in even this searching for this job. So when this father is asked about one of the children, you know, every information about the children is at the fingertips. Anajua mtoto yangu ako na kazi. Oh, he can be able to say my child just got a promotion the other day, or my child is looking for another job because where he is or where she is, this and that is happening, because you keep in touch with your children, and you're always looking forward to getting your children good jobs and making sure that your children are happy. You know, that is a good father. That is a good man a good manager of their family. You know, you catch up with your wife, whatever the wife is doing, you know, you're able to know, this is what my wife does. You're able to promote the product the wife has. You're able to promote whatever it is that the wife is doing. There are some men who don't care what their wife do. There are some men who don't even bother whether their wife get business or not. In fact, you can find there are some men even will direct other people to go to get business from other people, and their wives are doing the very business, or their children are doing the very business, instead of guiding those people to go to promote their own wives or to promote their own children. You find that the man is just promoting business of other people who are his friends or other people. You know, you are not a good manager. A good manager will control the family, will be able to know, this is the position of my family, this is the position, and we need this in this family, and because we need this, I'll also be working towards the achievement of this family. So that is a good controller, somebody who controls the family, somebody who cares, somebody who is concerned, somebody who knows the needs of the family, somebody who knows and is ready to meet those needs and is ready to work to see the needs are met. That is a good manager. A good manager of the family is somebody who works towards the satisfaction of his family and make sure that at least, as much as I'm not able to do everything, but at least whatever I can do it and do it very well and do it very effectively. That is a good manager. So in marriage, we need a manager, and the manager must be the man of the house. He's the one who is supposed to control the house. So if you have failed, if you have not been able to follow up or to catch up with your children, to catch up with your wife, you do not know what happens, you just come home, eat and sleep, you don't care, please, you should know that you're the one who is supposed to care for this family. You're the one who is supposed to take care of, to do that which is supposed to be done in it, to make sure that the family finds its footing, is able to move forward, is supposed to, is set on a trajectory of success. If the man is the one is supposed to do that, it's the work of the man to do that, because that role or that obligation has been given and is designated to the man by God. So some of us have failed by not doing it. And number 3, you're supposed to direct your family. You're supposed to be able to guide your family. You're supposed to be able to give direction to the family. You know, you're supposed to be the one who knows where your children are supposed to go to school. It is not any other person. Do not allow other people to come into your family and do things for your family. You know, there are some families where things are done by other people other than the man. You find that if you ask the father, where did your son go to school? Where did your daughter go to school? Anakuambia, nilimtuma kwa uncle yake. You know, I send this child to the uncle to go and look. You know, let your uncle look for school through you. Let everybody pay school fees through you, even if you're getting assistance from people. Unless it is a bursary that is supposed to be sent by the government to that school. But if it is being done by an individual, whoever is supposed to do it, let these people support your children through you. Let your children know that my father is directing us. He's able to know which schools we are going. He's able to understand how we are performing in those schools. He's able to know what is happening in the environment where we are. You should not allow somebody else to be the one guiding and directing your children. Because when things happen, when your children are not able to go the right direction, what happens is that you are the one who will eat the fruit thereof. So if the children are not taken care of well, the problem or the disaster will come back to your house. So it is very, very important to know that is a role that nobody else can take it. Nobody can take that role of directing your children. Let your children know that our Father knows what is the best for us. And not anybody else who knows what is the best. Why do you trust people for your children? Why do you entrust your children to other people's hands? What makes you feel that everybody loves your children the way you do? It is very, very important to know that your children are in your hands until they grow up and make their own decisions. You are the one who is supposed to direct them. Let them know that my father will take me to school. Let them know that my father will pay my school fee. Let them know that my father is in charge. That my father is involved in everything concerning me. Because children have gotten lost. Why? Because their fathers are not in charge. They have ended up in the wrong hands. Men have frustrated people's daughters. People's daughters have fallen in wrong men's hands in the name of friends to my father, friends you so and so to my father, so and so to my father, because fathers have failed to take their own responsibility. Let me tell you today, fathers, you are so good people. But you should also know your position. You should know what is it that has been entrusted to you fully by God. God has entrusted everything about your children in your hands. Much as sometimes our mothers do it, but you should be able to be in charge. You should be able to direct. You should be able to sit down with your wife and agree what is it that you want for your children. It is not good for you to be told that your child, unajua anaenda shule sijui gani, sijui alitolewa kapelekwa wapi. Some fathers don't even know. You find that children have come and cried to their mothers, oh, tunataka utubadilishe shule, sijui nini, shule si nzuri. And the mothers, because they are so intimate to their children, they take their children to other schools. The father doesn't know. The father does not understand. Something happens to this child. The father thinks, anapata information that there's something happening to this school, and you say, hapana, mimi mtoto yangu akuingi hiyo shule, anakuanga shule hiyo ingine. Why? Because you do not agree. You don't sit. You are not directing your family. Very, very important. It is very good to direct your family. Direct your children, even how to choose their careers. Sit with them. Talk to them. Agree with them. Don't dictate anything, but at least show them the pros and cons of careers they are choosing. I mean, you are the one who has been in the world long enough. You know the careers that are there and what it is that the careers offer. Discuss these careers with your children. Let them make an informed decision, even choosing these careers. Some fathers are not in the picture of what it is. They just come from nowhere sometimes and just dictate the careers and say, this is what you're going to do. And they don't even tell the child the reason why this child should do that career. They just dictate. And by dictating, you think that now you are directing. My friend, you're making a mistake. It's very, very important for you to just sit with them, be in charge. Direct them. But by directing, I mean you just sit with them, let them, discuss those careers. Let them choose that career by the fact that you've told them what is the careers involved and all that, and let them choose, make an informed decision. Because you are their father. They do not have any other father. And the role given to you has been given by God. And these children, they are your inheritance. That is one thing you should know. Fathers, your inheritance are your children. Not the money and the properties and the things you have. Everything else in a twinkling of an eye, you can have nothing. But I'm telling you, those are your inheritance. God bless you so much. And I believe you are going to take charge. I believe you are going to direct. I believe we are going to be good planners. And because God is guiding us, we're going to do well. Can you subscribe in my YouTube? God bless you so much. Amen.